Why is it difficult to love our body? Well, because we have this ideal. We are hooked on an ideal, and if we don't get the ideal, then we blame and either others or ourselves, and nothing changes. We have had this struggle for a long time, the women. I know men struggle with their bodies too, their body images, but I want to talk about the women right now. And what it is that I want to give you a little background to where this comes from. We humans, we learn through stories, and stories have been told for centuries and centuries and centuries. And one of the stories that I came across with that makes perfect sense to me is because, we always relate to perfect bodies. We relate to bodies that are on a pedestal and that are perfect. And this is a body that we spend a lot of energy to have, even though our bodies are completely different than from this perfect model that is on this pedestal. And the story I want to share with you is a Greek myth that I came across in this new book that I'm reading. The book is by Elizabeth Lesser, and it's called Cassandra Speaks, and it's a fabulous book. I highly recommend it. And she talks about the story of Pygmalion, which was a sculptor. This is a Greek myth, and he was a sculptor in Cyprus. Sculptor in Cyprus. That's a difficult word for me, but anyway. And he adored women, he loved women, but during that time the women were quite frisky and free with their sexuality. They were showing it, they were showing their bodies, and they were having a good time. They were celebrating their sexuality, and the whole society at that time decided that's a bad thing because only prostitutes do that, and not much has changed in that. So he decided he doesn't want to have anything to do with women anymore, so he locked himself into his studio and became celibate for a couple of years, and he decided that he wanted to create this perfect body, this perfect woman that he would ultimately fall in love with. He carved a female body, a thin, tall, beautiful, perfectly shaped and body out of white ivory, very virgin-like. So she wasn't like one of those prostitutes because she was pure. And he kept working on her. He kept perfecting her. That he started to fall in love with this statue. He adored her. He offered her everything that he could think she would possibly want. He put jewelry on her, he put earrings on her, he even put his head on her and slept that way, he rested with her that way, and he fell in love with his fantasy. And the Aphrodite, the goddess of love, was very impressed with the depth of his love for this statue that she decided to make the statue come alive. And so he was able to take her, he kissed her, he was able to take her off the pedestal, and they lived happily ever after. Now, we have still stories like that are coming along. Now we create movies around it, The Pretty Woman. We do reality shows about how an ugly duckling turns into this beautiful woman, and how this kind of a body turns into this perfect body. And we all are still running after that perfect body, and we are still running after the fantasy. We don't make a separation between fantasy and reality, which does not allow us to, there's no room for happiness there, because if you have a fantasy in your head and then you cannot create intimacy with what's real. So what can we do that makes it easier for us to love our body? Well, first we have to take that body off the pedestal. And we have to stop going after a body that we are not, and look in the mirror at who we are, and start loving what we see. Make the mirror our best friend, and give our body a chance to be healthy and strong. And with a healthy and strong body, Doesn't matter what age and what shape it is, as long as it's healthy and strong, you can show your power with it. And power means that you want to shine with your body. So that's what we can do in order to change our relationship into a loving relationship to our body. I also made a little clip a couple months ago about where I will offer that on there's a link to it on this video, and it has a very powerful body image exercise that I highly recommend. So please take a look at that, and if you're running into any body image issues while you're doing that, and if you want to have some help accepting what you see as loving and as beautiful, then you just give me a call and we'll walk that journey together. I will talk to you soon, and you have a lovely